Hi guys, it's me, My Atlantis. Welcome back to my music channel, My Atlantis Music. So, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a topic that I've not really spoken about a lot on my YouTube and social media. I have mentioned it, but I've not really spoken about it very properly. I've spoken to people that I know on social media about it, but not the whole general following and subscribers and whatever. So today is 29th of July 2021, and today would have been my dad's 65th birthday. Yes, 65th birthday, or 65. So he would have been 65 today. And so for anyone who doesn't know, in June 2011, my dad did unfortunately die. So it has been now, obviously this year, in June this year, it was 10 years since. And I have been wanting this. Yeah, obviously it would have been his 65th birthday as well this year. So I thought I would make a video for my YouTube and probably my Instagram as well to talk about how it has affected me, the story of how he died, um, how it's affected me now, and also to just give some advice for anyone who's struggling with grief, whether it's recent, whether it's over several years, maybe a few years ago, if you've lost a loved one, family, friend, pet even, anything like that. Just a little disclaimer, this is not for me trying to get clout, attention or sympathy, anything like that. It's just so I can tell you guys, because I like to tell my story, like when I've told my story about autism and things like that, so I want to tell my story about this as well. So, in June, well, in 2011, it had been, obviously, as you know, my birthday is in May 26th, so in May 26th, 2011, it was my 7th birthday. And then a few weeks later, I think it was June the 14th, it was a normal day, my dad went to work, I think mum took me to school, obviously I was at primary school at the time, and it was pretty much a normal day. Anyway, and then the sort of following, very early morning next day, I woke up, and mum wasn't there, and I was like, what's going on? And my dad was, and then one of my uncles came upstairs and said, I was at hospital, I didn't tell me why, and then I went back to bed. Anyway, a few hours later, um, my mum woke me up, took me downstairs, and two of my aunties and two of my uncles were downstairs in the living room. And then mum obviously told me that my dad had died. And I don't mind talking about how he died, because people do ask me, and I don't mind talking about if people asked, obviously. So, for anyone who doesn't know the story of how he died, because I have probably plenty of people that already know, but for anyone who doesn't know, so obviously, as I said, during the 14th, so my dad did work. I think it was in he did work in stock up in a stockroom, a place called Little Woods in Shaw. He was also a bricklayer, but he did he cycled to and from work, to and from he did cycle up, so he was very healthy in that sense. And on that particular night, unfortunately, he did fall off his bike. They said it could have been like a branch or something that he went over. It was just a normal cycling bike, not a motorbike or anything like that, just a normal pedal bike. And he was on the pavement. I don't think he was on the road. I'm not that sure. But unfortunately, he fell off his bike, banged his head. Luckily enough, there was a man and his girlfriend that saw him. I don't know if they were passing the town or something, but they saw him. They were on an ambulance. Obviously, mum was informed, and she went to the hospital. I didn't go to the hospital, so I think I was still asleep at the time. And so he sort of basically died of a head injury. He did die of hospital. I think it was just of a head injury or something like that. And the next day, obviously, like Mum told me, it was very difficult. And then I ended up having a sleepover at one of my aunties for a night. And then I went into school the next day, and everyone was asked about me. And then a few years later, someone told me that they actually they had an assembly about it. But no one told me until if someone told me a few years ago. And I was like, I didn't know that, but just no one had told me. But yeah, so obviously it has now been 10 years since. It did, obviously, at times it's very hard, like I didn't know I was like talking about it, but now, like, over the past few years, I don't mind talking about it. That's why I'm making this video. And obviously grief, like everyone deals with it differently. Like at the time, I was like crying a lot and all these things. I don't always talk about it a lot now. Like if people ask me about it, obviously I do talk about it, or if someone mentions it, like their parents, I said, no, I know what you've been through, or I know what you're going through. Obviously, like if someone mentions about their parent or something, or like family member, or just obviously, you know, like especially if it's a parent or something, I'll say, oh, actually, I know how you feel because this. And obviously, like, there's no like manual for grief. Obviously, everyone deals different ways. Some people talk about it. Some people do songs about it. Like, you know, obviously, I do songs about certain things. Um, I've never really done a song about my grief with my dad. Like, you know, getting over like loss of things. And obviously, you may never get over it. It may take a long period of time. But I feel like when you're ready, you should always talk to someone about it, whoever you may have lost. But always remember you still have if you have family and you know loved ones and friends still around you, let them support you. Go counselling if you want. I did have counselling in. I had two counsellors in primary school, well, like guidance counsellors, and then I had one in year 10 as well because it was like one of me other like I'd had someone else die my family something like that times I remember. But if you can, guidance counsellor, well, like a grief counsellor, but you know what I mean. And yeah, so that's I just thought I would tell everyone. So for anyone who has been through similar things to me, I do, you know, obviously I'm sorry for your loss. Um, let if guys, if you have any coping tips for anyone that you would like to share, put them in the comments below. And yeah, I will see you in my next video, which will probably be one of my next songs from my upcoming EP to the last. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if it's made anyone upset or anything like that. But you know, if you like need advice, obviously talk to someone. If you want to talk to me, just DM me or whatever. But yeah, so thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So if it's been a bit upsetting or a bit like waffling on, but anyway, alright, bye guys.